I'd like to request Puneet to kindly deliver his presentation on the night. Please. And his theme of the presentation is rural tourism challenges, scope, and entrepreneurship development. Please.
Yeah, hello once again. Before I start my presentation, let me once again compliment you because you mentioned about because we people in the industries are doing many of the MICE events, and I know these situations do happen with us in the tourism industry very often. But the main thing is that the way that beautifully in spite of the odd situation which was the weather, which something which is not supporting, and in the industry we will find many situations when we will and we have experienced that. But the way the things has been got done and organized in the short notice, it was fabulous. So my sincere compliments to you for that. And as far as the road to the beautiful university is concerned, many of the times now the infrastructure development we are seeing, but that is still in the process. And many of the times we have marketed the beautiful resorts and beautiful places, saying that journey in itself you will enjoy more when you will reach to the beautiful destination. So that is what exactly has happened with us people who have come all the way from Jammu. That when we landed to the university and been into this environment, I think there was no more in the thought that how was the journey, because it was really such a pleasure weather and all. So my all thanks to you to inviting us in this beautiful environment. Once again, thanks a lot. So starting with my presentation is the rural tourism challenges, scope and entrepreneurship development. Now one thing that I would like to say that particularly during recent times we are hearing about sustainable tourism a lot. Now sustainable tourism is being really talked about subject which the end user will be experiencing it, but we tourism professionals are actually supposed to deliver that. So sir, can I go to the next slide? Yeah, so if you see that now that normally the travel for anybody is just like a break from the usual routine, but that is not we deliver. What we deliver, the home is same. When you come back to the same home, everything looks different. So what is being delivered in the process? That life has been rejuvenated. Somebody felt a time to connect to oneself. So that is what the sustainable tourism does. And what the sustainable tourism means is like presenting the things in their natural form, in their natural essence, without disturbing and manipulating all the things around. And the rural tourism is one such thing which clearly is an opportunity to develop sustainable tourism. We can bring a better scope of rural tourism if we understand sustainable tourism, which is more of an experience than a description with its definition preserves in its natural essence. So this is what the rural tourism we need to understand, that we are presenting something in its natural form, but in more organized manner. So every crisis leads to unique opportunities, especially if the traditional approaches, paradigms are questioned and challenged to create the ways to new solutions. So this is what we have seen in the post-COVID era, that there is an opportunity for the country like India to promote rural tourism, where there is an appeal for a people to go to the calmer places, less crowded places, but this has to be promoted with the guidelines like hygiene, safety and security attached to it. So this is what we are going to see in the part of this presentation, that how we can try to structure these things around the rural tourism and can bring it as a package to the end user. So rural tourism, like particularly for a country where 70% of Indian population is living in rural area, this is a big segment to be considered, targeted, and has to be organized in a revenue generating form, because this revenue generating which happens from the rural tourism, it not only boosts the industry in itself and the professional, but it also brings the development of social economic development, which is the part of this presentation, and brings the entrepreneurship development. So that is what we are going to see in that. So if you see that rural tourism brings people closer to the nature, tradition, rural life, where they experience a non-polluted village environment along with the lifestyle of a simple village folk. So this is something which is not, which we have to see the things which are existing in the market, which are existing in a village, but how we people are educating the local people and taking a step forward in bringing in an organized manner. So rural tourism is one such experience that is so enriching, especially when we are living more in a virtual world or social media created by ourselves. You see how much time we are spending on the Facebook, how much time we are spending on the Instagram. Don't you think that it's really a break for you if I ask that there is a beautiful site we are visiting where you are away from this? So virtual world we are having now. Rural tourism is the one which gives us the opportunity to see the real world in that case. So the next slide please. So first we need to understand like rural tourism what the experience it offers. We understand okay the village site is there, people are seeing the how locals are living. These are the broader way of the rural tourism. If I just go into the detail that what are the things which we need to I will say as a position as a experiences from rural tourism. So rural tourism experiences need to understood in totality which is an overall experience not only on the resources, attraction, people, art and culture, but its contribution to the social economic development of the rural sites. So rural tourism is a choice of an evolved traveler because I will always say rural tourism is an evolved traveler choice. The person who is traveling for the first time might not be going for this segment. This segment is more interesting for the people who have been traveling a lot and wants to add more to his experiences. So as a specialist in offering rural tourism program, one need to understand the site and the motivation which drives the tourist to such places. Now, this site can be for people who wants to go into the common places. There can be a site for the foreign tourists who really want to see this part of India and they want to see the rural things. It can be a site for the NRIs who want to get connected with the roots. So, we have to understand all these things and then have to devise the products which is appealing to a particular segment. So, that is what one site doesn't fit all in that manner. So, how we should be adding the experiences like that guided tours add new dimensions to rural tourism and could provide a structured approach that not only takes care of the interest of the client but also increases efficiency in the execution of the program in a definite time frame. Whenever we are organizing a program, it is very much important what are the timings, what is the duration of the program, in that duration what is one seeing, how that should be guided in such a way that people are able to see the maximum in the minimum time frame. This when presented to them, they will be able to experience in a better organized manner. So define structured activities depending upon the location, size. Now, in one rural tourism only, you can create a one segment forest walk for 2 duration, which is charging this much of dollars, village walks, farm tours, nature walk, heritage walk, sunrise hikes, bird watching and tracking. So these all different segments. More segmentation you create, more the product line you are creating in a broader segment, and more expertise you are creating. And every activity has a price attached to it, and that is what it accumulates it in that manner of a total revenue generation. So another important point is in rural tourism, like stay is very much important point. So we need to understand that stay in the selected accommodations under the schemes and approved by government or local tourism body or NGO which fulfill the predefined criteria while taking care of the basic comfort, health, hygiene and security. So if we have set up the certain guidelines of a choice of a stay, then we are very much sure of the experience what the client will be getting and avoiding any escalations in that manner. Cuisine is another. India is known for the land of spices, gives a dash of flavor to taste the dishes. So this is not only about having a food. It also something separate interactive classes or programs can be conducted which showcase such products or serve guests authentic food and get them to witness live kitchens. You know there are the villages, there are the sites within India and something outside India where they are charging the people to witness the live kitchens, having that experience. For example, experience the process of churning out the buttermilk. So these are the different experiences which can be created as a part of the cuisine. Shopping is one segment which we really need to think about because this shopping is one which really brings that social economic development. So shopping is one segment which says that time the shopping is not about the rational appeal. It is more to do with the emotional appeal. When we go and outside to some place and when we buy the souvenir, it is more related to our emotional appeal than the rational reason to have that purchase. So nature surrounding excite tourists to purchase items that carry the smell and memories of the time spent. And what can be better than the shopping for handmade fabrics, copper items, local spices and paintings. Similarly, when this information is, if that is what my experience. If you share any information in the form of an interactive map, it becomes more professional. So if when this information is shared in the printed form with the maps, duration of stay and brief description of the experience along with hygiene, safety and security guidelines in English or the captured in device in online with mode of translate to different language, customer is logged because tourism is something that once you offer, then people will get you the applause about it. But we want to create those sentiments before they are actually experiencing it. So how can that be possible? That can be possible by you creating an interactive map, creating a guidelines, so that create an appeal within them to go for that particular product, which we call as a tourism product line. Now, social economic development, when we talk about particularly, so I will say that tourism has three-dimensional approach. Not only rejuvenate the tourist with the offering, but also contribute to the growth of the local economy and broaden the outlook of the life of the local, resulting in social development. So when we are giving the guidelines, when we are giving the soft skills, so ultimately it is also developing a development of a local community, and they are also getting exposed to the outside world and having a better understanding. So participation of local community is an important part of rural tourism, which has a direct impact on increasing income and create opportunities for micro entrepreneurship, which further generates employments within the village or rural sites and avoids migration of locals for the jobs within the cities. So rural tourism is not just an experience for tourists, but a greater social impact on local community. So the information kiosk at the attractions with souvenir shop managed by locals, showcasing the local handicrafts and selling farm products can be a good investment in the. So this is the idea, like there is a beautiful gardens. You can always create a kiosk over there. You can put a local item. So that is the way we need to think about that, how one particular activity can multiply more other activities in such a way. Similarly, the local arts and craft festivals. These are the great opportunities. When there are local festival happening, there should be some product line created around those particular local festivals, and that is the way. You see now how the Pushkar Mela has become one of the main event. But all these have started right from those basic, giving those local experiences. Now we have to understand the market segmentation. So this I will just clearly say now in our industry there is a domestic travelers and there is a foreign traveler. These are the two main things. Domestic traveler has more of a psyche of going to the calmer places. Foreign traveler want to explore this thing because this is not what they are seeing in their country. And NRI, which is among the foreigners, are those Indians, but they want to connect it to the roots. Or the generation Z, their children have never been exposed to the places and villages because all their life is being spent abroad. So this is the one opportunity for them. So this is the market segmentation we have to keep in mind, because every market segmentation defines or demands a different product line. And these are the various sites which we need to consider, particularly why they are traveling, what is the motive, what is the geography they are coming from. So this will help into the market segmentation in that phase. Now product segmentation.